Covering conflict in general, or covering trauma, if you wanna call it, yes, it affects usually at the personal level and at a professional level. At the personal level, it usually comes after, sometimes a few days, a few weeks, but that's my experience, at least, when you have a little bit of time to pause and think about it. But while you're doing it, you're very focused on the work, so. It's more of a professional effect, trying to think of the best way to cover something that you might feel part of the conflict while you're trying to cover it objectively.
You know, the way that conflict affects reporters differs with the reporter and how close they are to carnage, and also to whether they're physically in danger themselves.
I guess for reporters who are able to make those sort of emotional connections, certainly you could see that it had a different type of impact, maybe from those who could distance, who didn't have to make that emotional connection.
While we were covering, we started seeing people coming out from under the destroyed buildings. One of the main questions was, what should we do? Should we put our cameras down and start helping them, or do we become part of the story in that case? Of course, at the same time, we can't just sit back and take photos and video while these people are asking for water and help, and they're literally, some of them were about to die or were dying.
At one point, I was interviewing a young boy who was, I think, maybe 9 years old, through a translator who was a teenager who had also spoke English. And this younger boy, described how he'd seen most of his family butchered right in front of him. His story was so desperately sad that I found myself eventually just losing control and I was about to cry. So I just had to cut off the interview, and it's just pathetic. You know, I had some candy bars, and I gave them to this boy. He just walked away, because I couldn't really deal with it.
Certainly moral dilemmas come in when you begin to see, you know, the gravities, for instance, of the impact that the conflict is having on the population.
How do you cover a war objectively when basically your home is being attacked by one side, or your family is being attacked, or your country is being attacked? And the question is less about who do you side with, and more how can you present an accurate picture.
I think every reporter gets really affected, emotionally, and what I learned to do was not to allow reporters to stay too long, in an area. I think reporters should be able maybe to take breaks, from that kind of work.
I think it's legitimate, very legitimate for reporters who are on the line for that long to talk about how it affects them, particularly, with others, in therapy and that kind of thing, because, they get into very serious post-traumatic stress problems, and it's nothing to dismiss. I've known a number of reporters who have been in the middle of horrible stuff for a very long time and really they were having great difficulty coping and recovering from it. And then other people, more like me, have had some, but not nearly that much.
Don't expect, no matter how tough you are, to go back into society and not be emotionally at least affected by it.